Dear students, welcome to the Department of Electronics SEM class. This is your class 16 on Unit 3, that is C programming. In the last class what you studied about the nested if else statement. Correct? Nested if else statement, and also you studied the example. Why we have to use the nested if else statement and what do you mean by the nested if else statement. Let us revise. If you want to test more than one condition, then we are going to use the nested if else statement. So today you are going to study the else if ladder. What do you mean by the else if ladder? Its syntax and its flowchart with the example. Okay, let us move to study the else if ladder. Why we have to use the else if ladder? If we are having the multiple conditions, then what to do? Then one special statement is available in the C language, that is what your else if ladder. Multiple conditions. Okay, so actually we have started from the single condition and next we have come for the second, third. So in this way, if we are having multiple conditions, more than 2, 3, then we have to use the else if ladder. Let us see the flowchart of this else if ladder. Okay. So first what happens, this is your entry to the what else if ladder. Okay, remember that always whenever we are speaking about the if, means there is a condition is there. Okay. So here condition means what happens? You have to take this symbol. Okay, here you are writing the test condition. So if this test condition is there, means it has the two blocks. One is the true block, another one is the false block. Okay, so in the else if ladder is nothing but what? If we are having more conditions. Presently we have written the flowchart for only 4 conditions. This may take till n conditions. Okay. For the understanding purpose, we have took only 4 conditions. So let us see how to draw the flowchart for the else if ladder. Write the test condition. If this test condition is false, that means test condition is not here. You are writing one condition. If this condition is false, means what happens? It is going to check the second condition. If this is false, then the third. If this is false, then the fourth. Okay, if this is false, means it is going to execute the default statement. Okay, this is called the default statement. Let us see once again. So first you are writing here one test condition. If this is true, means what happens? It is going to execute the true block statement. Then your control goes to the next statement available here. Okay, here your control goes to the, let us take this as one X statement, that is next statement. So if the first condition is true, means what happens? These all conditions are not going to checked by the compiler. Okay, if it is true, means it executes this statement 1 and directly your control goes to the next statement available in the program. Okay, these are the steps are not going to execute it. You may have the question that if it is not executed, then why we have to write? We are going to write all the options in the program. C is popular because in one program we are writing all the options. Okay. So if it is false means what it should do? In some situations what happens? It is false. Then it is going to check the second condition. Here what happens? If this is true means it is going to execute it statement 2 and directly goes to the next statement available after this statement. Okay. If this test condition is true means it is not going to execute at statement 1 and this block is not executed. But what happens when it is false? When it is false means it is going to check the test condition 3. Okay, else if ladder is used to check the multiple conditions. Okay, here we are not checking any 1, 2, 3, any number of conditions. If you want to check, then we are using the else if ladder. How? Like this. If test condition 3 is true, then it is going to execute this statement 3. Here all of you write statement 2, statement 3 and statement 4. Here you write a default block statement and here you write statement X in your notebook. If this is false, then it is going to check the test condition 4. Okay, and next what happens? If this is false means it is going to execute, this is true means it is going to execute this, and if this is false means what happens? It is going to execute this. Okay, that means what? Means if this is true means it is going to execute this. False means what happens? This is called the default statement. That means all the conditions are false. If all the conditions are false means one statement, that is called the default statement, is going to execute it. After executing this also, it is going to execute the next statement. Okay. So just you go through this. It is very simple. That is you can say that it is a one game of the true and false. Okay, true means this is executes, false means this executes, afterwards this executes. Okay, please go through it again. Let us learn the syntax of this language. So, okay, till now what you have studied, that is a pictorial representation of the else if ladder. Okay. Let us learn the syntax. Okay, it is also called a chain of the if with else. It is a one chain we are writing with the if else statement. So what is the first one? First you have to write the if and the condition one. Remember that if is a keyword. Okay, else is also keyword, if is also keyword. Okay, remember that whenever you are using if and the condition, there is no semicolon here. No semicolon here. Okay. So first, what is the condition in the else if ladder? If condition 1. If this condition 1 is true means it is going to execute the statement 1. That means exactly after this what we have written, this is going to execute it. Okay, for example, just we have taken it as a Sunday. If this condition is true means it is Sunday. Only for the example. Okay. So this is the actually where what are the things I have taken here in the bracket? No, that is for your understanding. Okay, only the syntax is if condition then statement 1. That means it is true, it is going to execute statement 1. If this is false means what it is going to do? That is why we have written else if. If this condition is false, then you test this condition too. Okay. If this condition is true, then execute statement 2. If this is false, next go for the test condition 3 and execute statement 3. Okay. Similarly, next what happens? If this test condition 3 is false, then it is going to check the test condition 4. If this is true, it is going to execute statement 4. If it is false, means what happens? It is going to execute test condition 5. Similarly, you can write the 6, 7, any number of statements you can write. But finally, that means it can take n number of statements. Okay, it can take how many statements? N number of statements. That means you can check here n number of conditions. But finally, you are having a one statement that is called a else block. That means here we have written n number of statements. All the n number of statements are false. Then where the control should go? It is going to execute the default statement. It is called whatever default statement. Okay. That means what is the work of this default statement? Other than 1 to 7 numbers, that is not a weekday. Okay, that is not a weekday. Then this is going to execute the default statement. After executing the default statement, it is executes the statement X. Okay. Another one point you have to remember here. If this condition is true, if the test condition is true, then what happens? I have already explained this in the flow chart. It executes statement 1. If this condition is true, then it executes statement 1. Then it is not going to check any one of these conditions or the default statement. Directly your control jumps to the next statement available in the program. Okay. Second point you have to remember here. Always what happens? Whatever we are writing this statement 1, statement 2, no, there should be in the open flower bracket and the close flower bracket. I think I have already told in the if else statement. After this test condition, if the statement is only 1, then it is not necessary to use this one. Actually, for the good practice, you have to use. But even though if you have not written, then you are not able to get you are not going to get the error. But whenever you are having more than one statement after this if condition, if we have not written this, then the second line is not executed. Only the single line is executed. Okay, so let us revise the important points about this else if ladder is if the test condition 1 is true, then it is going to execute the statement 1. After executing the statement 1, directly it goes to the next statement available in the program. That is after the default statement, what is the statement is there, that is going to execute it. This is true for all the conditions. So you think that the test condition 2 is true. Then what happens? It is going to execute the statement 2. After executing the statement 2, where the control goes to the next statement available. That is after the default statement, what the statement is there, that statement is executed. This is true for all the conditions. Okay, if any one condition is true, then it is going to execute that statement block, and control goes to the next statement available after the default statement. Second point is, after the if condition, always you have to use the opening brace and end of the brace to write the statements. Okay, for all the conditions. Statement 4, here also you have to take the after else if. Else if is also after else if or after if. Whenever you are writing the statements, that means more than one statements, whenever you are writing, you should use the opening brace and end of the brace. In the program also, always what happens, number of opening braces equal to number of closing braces. Otherwise, your program is going to give you the error. Let us hope something is clear in this else if ladder. So what is the else if ladder? So we will write a one simple program also. The conditions are evaluated from top to downwards. That is also very important. Okay, you should know from where to where this is going to evaluate. This is going to evaluate from top to downwards. As soon as the condition is found true, control is transferred to statement X, skipping the rest of ladders. So the same thing till now what I have explained, I have written in the form of sentence here. Okay, let us write a one C program for this data. Okay, what are the conditions here? So I have taken the simple example for the percentage for the better understanding. Okay, if percentage is 100, then it should print the grade A. If percentage is 70 to 99, then the grade of the student is B. If 40 to 69, the grade of the student is C. Then below 40, if the student have taken, means it should print the D. So in this way, I am having here the 4 conditions in this program. Okay, so you have to think, depends on the program, you have to think which statement we have to use. Okay, here can I use the if else statement? It is not possible, because if and else, it is going to give you only 2 ways. One is true and one is false. Only 2 are there, then you can use the if else statement. Okay, can I use the nested if? No. In the nested if, what happens? If the test condition 1 is true, then only it is going to check the second condition. Okay, but it is not like that here. Here it is going to read the percentage, and if according to this percentage, it should print the grades. By seeing the applications, you have to decide yourself that which statement we have to use for the program. Okay, here to check here, multiple conditions are there. Okay, to check the multiple conditions, we have to use the else if ladder. Okay, let us write the program. Let us see the one simple example for this else if ladder. Okay, here I have written a one table. No? So if the student got 100, then the grade should be A. If the percentage is in between 70 to 99, then B grade. 40 to 69, C grade. Below 40, D grade. Okay, here you have to check that is the percentage is greater than 100. Sorry, equal to 100, then it is going to print the A. In the test condition 2, if it is greater than or equal to 70 and less than or equal to 99, it is going to print the B. Similarly, in that test condition 3 is greater than or equal to 40, less than or equal to 69, C. Below 40 means it is going to print that D. Okay, let us begin the program as usual using the main. Before that, we have to write the comment line and the include section. After the main, you have to write the declaration section. What are the variables we required here? Only one thing, that is percentage. So here I am taking the percentage is of the data type int. Okay, so declaring and reading. What happens when you declare this means how many bytes for the integer? It stores 2 bytes, and of the what is the name of this variable is percentage. Okay, ಸರಿ, next ಬಂದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಚೆಕ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಏನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇರೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ is if percentage is equal to 100. So one point here in the C for the equal to, this is actually the assignment statement, correct? So here for the equal to, we have to take the two equal to signs. Okay, two equal to sign you take for the equal to sign and check that condition. If this percentage is equal to 100, what it should do? It should print that grade is equal to A. Whatever you want, you can print. That means for the student got the grade A. So whatever you are writing in the double quote, it is printed as it is. But if the student he has not scored 100, what he should do? Go and check the second condition. What is the condition? The condition is the student got greater than or equal to 70 and it is less than or equal to 99. Okay, if both should be true, greater than or equal to 70 and the percentage is less than or equal to 99, then its grade is B. Okay, if the student is also, that means its percentage is not in between 70 and 99, what it should do? He should go for the third one, that is else if. Else if here percentage is greater than or equal to 40 and less than or equal to 79, printf it is grade C. Okay, here we have checked all the condition. This is the default. That means if all these three test conditions are false, then it is going to execute the printf. Here it is not necessary to check any condition. This is called the default. If all the conditions are false, then it is going to execute the default block. Okay, and if according to our applications, if it is needed, here we are writing the another statement. Here it is not necessary. We have not written that one. Directly we have end the program. Okay, so we will see the one simple example. We will only one example I will explain. So let us read the 55 is our percentage. What it should print? For the 55, it should print C grade. Okay, so here int page, so you have read that value. So the 55 stored here. First it checks the percentage is nothing but 55. It checks is the 55 is equal to 100. The condition is false. Then it is not going to execute this statement. It is coming here. Is the percentage is greater than, that means 55 is greater than or equal to 70. Here only the condition is false. It is not the greater than or equal to 70. When this is true means it checks for this one. When this is false means this is not executing. It comes here. Here what happens? Percentage is, that means 55 is greater than or equal to 40. Yes, the condition is true. Then it checks here is 55 is less than or equal to 69. Both are true. Then only if both the conditions are true, then it is going to print C. Then where the control goes? Your control goes to the next statement after the default statement. What is the next statement after the default statement? End of the program. It is going to end. What the output you are going to you are printed? The output is grade C. Is it correct? For the 55, it should print the grade C. In this way, you try to analyze for different values. Okay. So, if possible, I will show in the C compiler also. Okay, students, this is my concern about my students. Okay, please try to write the other programs. Meet in the next video. If you have any doubts, you can put in the Teach Me tab.